As always, I'm Sparshalot. So, last time I talked to you about my favorite music artist, The Weeknd, and a little bit about his music. So, I thought today I'll talk to you about music. So, if you think about it, sound is interesting. It's vibrations. Particles vibrate, and those vibrations travel to our ear. And if you studied, I hope you studied in school or wherever about the inner mechanism of the ear. That is also very beautiful, where those vibrations travel through the different apparatus, the three smallest bones, and it's converted into electrical signals, and then we interpret in our brains. So it is such an intricate process, but it happens so quickly, instantaneously, and it happens all throughout the day that we often do not recognize it or appreciate it. And unfortunately, some people have lost that ability, or they were not born with it, and of course they have workarounds, but we must think about how privileged, can we say privileged? I don't think that would be the right word, but anyways, it's worth noticing. Yeah. And if we come to music is interesting for several reasons. Now, still there are vibrations, you can create them with your throat. That is also interesting. You have those vocal cords, which that muscular structure which adjusts the air which passes through, and so that we can speak in different intonations. We can hit lower or high notes, and I will not demonstrate that because your ears might bleed, but you get my point. And we have discovered, invented so many different ways to make these sounds, noises. We have strings, we beat things, drums, percussion, not what you thought. And we've been innovative, we've been creative. Keys, and today in the digital age, we have these electronic instruments which there are no bounds to what you can create. You can take random noises, turn it into music, and music is interesting because you have those same vibrations which you interpret in your brain, but it's so much more than just those vibrations, because consciously we are not exactly uh, dealing with vibrations. We are dealing with the phenomenon called sound, which is the interpretation of those vibrations by our brain through the electrical signals, and that can lead to so many things. It can lead to visualizations. If some And I'm not necessarily talking about synesthesia is different, where there are cross connections between your senses. So some people feel in colors and things like that. That is also an aspect, but that's not what I'm referring to in totality, because you find that in some people, but in majority of us, music itself has so many effects on us. It can make us feel things, it can change our feelings, it can exacerbate our existing feelings. Sad songs, hype up songs, and there are lots of things which have to do with it. For example, what's the BPM, what is the speed, what are the lyrics, even the lyrics. And sure, you can break down the song in the technical terms into sounds, melodies, lyrics, and all those things. But when we interpret them, it is not just those things. It is an amalgamation of those things which can, the way I imagine it, they create something called as a soundscape. It is almost as if it's a different reality, because sure, all these things, these vibrations exist in our environment. It is going in our ears, it is in our brains. Everything that exists, that is where the music also exists. But where it takes us inside our brain mostly is phenomenal, and does not have anything to do with the individual parts of it. and it is almost as if it is an emergent property. I can't like properly classify it as an emergent pop property, sorry, but to the closest explanation that I can think of is exactly that. That there is almost a different reality which it can take us into. It can help us visualize things, and that is why music is so much more than what we think of it as. And if I talk about what I really like hip hop. I like R&B and B, and mostly alternate R&B. And pop is not something that I'm exactly a fan of, but there is, because pop is too general of a term. You have different songs which can become pop, different genres which can sort of collaborate with pop, and even The Weeknd has started making pop songs. Excuse me. Maybe not all of them, but yeah, there are elements. And as his character Ted Rose mentions in The Idol, the pop is the ultimate Trojan horse. You know, you get people singing, dancing, ah, what a song, but you can slip in some sort of a message inside it, which may not be caught on by every other listener. And on the same note, not the same note, but whatever it is, since we're talking about music, I have done a weak ass, dumbass attempt at trying to produce music, which I upload on a channel called Sparshalot Music. So I will drop the link down in the description, and so that you can come and spit on it and trash me in the comments on that channel. That's all for today. I'll see you next time.